Well, hello, and welcome to another edition of Tea Time Chat. Today we're going to, of course, have some tea, and we're going to talk about a mandolin. But first, tea. So, this is vanilla chai. So, we're just going to pour up a nice cup here. So, get some sugar. Alright, yeah, that's nice. Just a little. I'm not one of these people that likes tons of sugar in their coffee, so. Alrighty. Yeah, so let's see. So it is Saturday afternoon. I've just had my afternoon nap. Just had a shower. Now it's perfect time for a cup of tea. This is good. So this is, like I said, vanilla chai. This is from Twinings. That's quite nice. So, let's get to the subject at hand. Today we're going to talk about the mandolin. And not just any mandolin. This is the Rogue RM101a. So you can see here's the headstock, Rogue, open geared tuners. Nice binding along the fretboard there. So you can see there's the fretboard. It's very flat. Very flat. You can see the action there is pretty decent. So here's the bass side. The action there. You see the dots. Those are marker dots. There were no inlaid dots on the top, and so I hate that. I absolutely hate having no markers there along the top of the neck, because if you stand up and play all the time, how are you going to see unless you're like really slouching over? So you can see there's, again, binding is double bound. There's the back. Quite shiny, quite nice. There's the top. So the bridge you can see is a compensated rosewood bridge. So you see the bridge. I had to do a ton of work on the bridge. This is a very inexpensive mandolin. I think these retail brand new with gig bag included for like $50. I bought this on a whim from a friend, a guy I know from the convention circuit, and who also happens to be a hearse owner. Unfortunately, we've got the glare from the open window there. It's kind of messing up the aesthetics. But so let's talk about the bridge. You can see here kind of the angle of the bridge. And it's adjustable. Well, it was in theory adjustable. Here, let's look at this side. So you can see there's the treble side, there's the bass side. It had thumb wheels here, and you could adjust it. The problem was, when I got this, the action up here at the base of the neck was easily like a ½ inch off the board, even with the adjustment all the way down. So it was about a ½ inch high, and it was just about unplayable, even down here at the lower frets. You just about couldn't play it at all. And if you did, the notes would go sharp, even down here close to the nut. Of course, even more so up here. So that being said, I spent probably a couple of hours with a sander and a saw, and I cut a ton of wood off of that bridge. Between the two posts, the bridge probably had like a ½ an inch of wood under it, making it to be like a T shape, like a flattened T. So I had to cut almost all of that out. And so the treble side of the bridge here is resting on the bridge base, and the bass side is up a little bit. I had to do all that to even make it playable, and it's all right now. It's not, it's not the best. Of course, it's an expensive mandolin, but it is what it is. It's black. The tailpiece here is very pretty. It's got nice big F holes there. You see there's the label. It's made in China. I really like this, at least in terms of the aesthetics. I think it's beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful. Strap button. Strap here ties. But that being said, I am going to replace this very soon. So I got the mandolin on a whim, just because. I thought it might be a cool addition, because I'd already play guitar and bass at that point, so I picked up the mandolin. So I picked up the mandolin just to add a new dimension to what I was playing, and after having run into Jig to a Milestone, one of my favorite bands, I've been interested in putting a little more maybe Celtic, a little more maybe Irish influence in the band, not that I have a band, but so I figured, might as well give it a try. And so the best thing about a mandolin is it has frets. That means it's easy to play, unlike the other instrument that has the same scale length. Cough, violin, cough. The good thing, though, is that mandolins and violins have the same scale length. So if you learn a piece on the violin, you can adapt it to the mandolin quite easily. Like any of these like Irish tunes, like Irish Washerwoman or The Butterfly or Flowers of Edinburgh, whatever, very easily adapted to the mandolin. So that's great. That's why I kind of picked up the violin. I'm like, well, already learning mandolin, might as well, why not go whole hog, right? So, that being said, this thing still doesn't play that great, in my opinion. The neck is very skinny compared to other mandolins that I've seen. I don't know if the fretboard has the proper relief. Sometimes I've gotten kind of all the buzz out of it. I've got the action adjusted where it doesn't buzz, but some of the notes up here, like right around the 5th fret, they'll go sharp. So a lot of times what I'll do is I'll run this through auto-tune if I'm recording. Don't run the violin through auto-tune, because that would be cheating. But I'll run this through auto-tune. Just to help with that. Other than that, I hate getting rid of it. I think it's beautiful. I've enjoyed playing it. But I should hopefully be upgrading to another mandolin here very soon. I have actually ordered one. So we'll get to see that, hopefully. So what else? So interestingly enough, a lot of people, when they saw my Star of the County Down video, they're like, what is that little black guitar? Well, it's a mandolin. So here's the deal with the mandolin. It's got 8 strings, obviously. 4 courses of 2. And so it's tuned just like a violin. Or if you're a guitarist, it's tuned like the bottom 4 strings of a guitar upside down. So we have E, and the strings are tuned in unison. It's not like a 12-string acoustic guitar where one is an octave above the other. They're tuned in unison. So here's E, here's A, D, and G. So there's that. This also isn't the best for staying in tune. I usually with anything, I will try and tune after each take when I'm recording something, but this one I don't think stays in tune the best, but it sure is nice looking. So I'll just show a couple chords here. Of course, everyone who's in the classic rock space knows the mandolin from Battle of Evermore, Led Zeppelin. There's the mandolin in that. I don't know, maybe I can remember the riff. I think it starts off, I think it's in A minor. I forget exactly how it goes, but I think it starts off on like a D or something. Maybe it was a D minor. I don't really know. I don't really care. I mean, it is good to learn if you like mandolin, but so chords can be really tricky. So G major is open. Here's D major, open strings. C. You can do E minor like this. This is did I say E minor? This is E minor. D minor. A. I think it was A. So it's A minor, G, A minor, C. I don't know why it would start on D if it was in A minor, whatever. But it's cool. It's cool to jam along. Incidentally, I had wanted to be able to play that song since I was like 13 or 14. So, yeah, for what that's worth. So there's open chords. There's also chords get like really tricky, like bar chords. There's different patterns, usually something like this. And maybe with the middle finger, if it's major, maybe to drop that third down, it's the middle finger. So this is not a mandolin lesson by any stretch of the imagination. I just wanted to play around here, show you this thing, and get it documented, so when I get rid of it, sell it, whatever, I'll have a record of it, other than just having used it in some recording. So, oh look, we're almost out of tea. But what I like to do when I use this in a recording is I'll do a rhythm track that will be chords. And then maybe do some melody or some pieces of melody with it. So let's talk about that real quick. When I'm playing electric guitar, I always use these, you can't really see that, the light in here is awful. I use these Dunlop, these are 1.14 millimeter picks, the purple Tortex picks. And I like these because I like to play lead and rhythm, and these don't move, like these do not flex at all, which I really like, is good, and it's good I think for single note. But it's good for single notes because they don't flop around, and if you're trying to be precise, if you're trying to be fast, I don't really want the pick like flopping all over the place. So even here on the mandolin, I'll use this for picking, but because this is a small thing and a delicate thing, not so much using the 1/1/4s for chords, right? By the way, replacing the strings, tuning, especially tuning the high E's up to pitch, is like really nerve-wracking because, this is such a tiny thing and so delicate, and these little strings are under a lot of tension. I'm not a fan of it. So what I have kind of started doing is, this is a Fender. This is a 0.71 millimeter, so 71.0.71. It's got a good bit of flex to it. Good. I like this more for chords because you get a softer attack, and it's not hitting the strings as hard, to knock them out of tune or whatever. So I've also kind of started doing that on the acoustic guitar. Like, I'll use a thinner, more flexible pick for chords, and the purple Dunlop for melodies or lead or something like that. So that's pretty much it. We're already quite long. We're at 17 minutes, but I just wanted everyone to see this because I do like it. I do adore this. I think it's beautiful. I love the binding. I love the black, the black mirror. It can be none more black, as Spinal Tap would say. The binding's a little bit of a cream color. I just wish it was a little nicer. Yeah, I just wish it was a little nicer. So I am upgrading, like I said, and we'll take a look at that soon. So I'm probably going to sell this. I don't know if I'm going to try and trade it in at the guitar store, which they would probably only give me like $20 for it, or maybe I'll try and sell it on eBay or Craigslist or something. So anyway, if you want it, I have, because of the enormous amount of work I have done to the bridge to make this thing playable, I am probably, if I don't trade it in to the store for money or store credit, I'm probably going to want, I'd probably take $40 for this and the gig bag. It comes with a really nice padded nylon gig bag. So anyway, enough of that. Thanks for watching. Check back soon. I'm going to try and have a Halloween-themed piece, maybe in the Locrian mode, maybe spooky. So check back, and we'll see you soon. Bye now.